Hey there, marketers. You're listening to the Son of a Pitch podcast, where modern marketing strategy is broken down into clear, practical ideas you can actually use. I'm your host, Kenneth. Today, we're continuing our association series, and we're talking about something many organizations are drowning in: metrics. More specifically, which engagement signals actually matter and which ones can create a false sense of progress. Because not all engagement tells the same story. This episode is brought to you by Pitch Cloud, the creative studio helping organizations communicate with clarity through strategy, video, and design. Learn more at pitchcloudmanagement.com. Let's get into it. Associations today have access to more data than ever. Email analytics, website traffic, social engagement, event registration numbers. And while all that information can be useful, it can also become distracting because visibility and engagement are not always the same thing. A member opening an email doesn't necessarily mean they feel connected. A social post getting likes doesn't necessarily mean people are becoming more engaged with the organization itself. Some metrics measure attention, others measure relationship strength, and those are very different things. Part of the challenge is that engagement is behavioral. It's not just about a single action. It's about patterns over time. Someone who attends multiple events, regularly consumes content, participates in discussions, and responds to communications is demonstrating something deeper than casual interaction. They're showing continued connection, and continued connection is one of the strongest indicators of long-term retention. There are a few engagement signals associations should pay especially close attention to, not because they look impressive in reports, but because they often correlate with loyalty and renewal. Things like repeat event participation, ongoing content consumption, community interaction, volunteer involvement, chapter participation, and recurring website visits. These behaviors suggest that the member sees ongoing relevance in the organization, and relevance is what sustains engagement over time. On the other hand, some metrics can create an illusion of engagement. High impressions, large follower counts, occasional spikes in activity. Those things may indicate awareness, but awareness is not the same as relationship depth. An association can appear highly visible online while members quietly disengage underneath the surface. That's why context matters. Metrics should help explain behavior, not simply report activity. This is where many organizations need to evolve. Reporting tells you what happened. Intelligence helps you understand what it means. For example, which members are becoming less active? Which behaviors predict renewal? Which experiences create ongoing participation? Those questions move beyond dashboards and into strategy, because the goal isn't just collecting data. It's understanding member behavior well enough to strengthen the relationship. One of the most valuable things associations can do is recognize disengagement early, not at renewal time, earlier, when participation patterns begin to change, because small shifts in engagement often become larger shifts later. And organizations that identify those signals early have a much better chance of reconnecting members before the relationship weakens further. Here's a useful question to consider. Are your metrics helping you understand your members better, or are they simply measuring activity? Because those are not the same thing. If there's one idea to take from today's episode, it's this. The most important engagement signals are usually the ones that reveal connection, not just attention. That wraps up today's episode of Son of a Pitch. If this episode made you rethink the metrics your organization pays attention to, share it with someone working in membership, marketing, or engagement strategy. Next week, we're talking about something closely connected to this conversation: designing a member experience that people actually value. For more strategy and creative support, visit pitchcloudmanagement.com. We'll see you next week.